No, I'm not up in 10 years. So it's good that. Got that. You don't see horrible, but never had a dog like that. It's not fun. No. And, yeah, fed. Everything. So this is new. My training's going good. But, you know,
We have two people on. I believe one of them is Jason. And I think the only way we can communicate with Jason is in a chat. No, this is a YouTube, so it's not the same. But I can communicate with them. Yeah, I can communicate with them on text. This is his last meeting. All the spouses came out for this. Seven. I have seven. Does anyone have seven? Everyone ready on this side? Everyone ready on that side? Okay, here we go. Good evening and welcome to the December 20th meeting of the Glenville Town Board. Please rise for the invocation and pledge of allegiance. For tonight's invocation, I just ask you to take a moment of silence to offer your own intentions. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please call the roll.
Councilman Martin?
Here.
Councilman Ramichardt?
Here.
Councilman Kirkham?
Here.
Councilman Barone?
Here.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Here. The agendas are up front. As you know, we have the resolutions and the agenda with the resolutions listed. There are 4 add-ons tonight after we do resolution 12. And before number 13, new business, we'll do add-ons 1, resolution authorizing the contract for Kristen Bodie for consulting services. Resolution add-on 2, adopting litigation between MHG Sacandaga LLC and the town of Glenville. Number 3, resolution rescinding the resolution from 2022 regarding a highway department purchase and authorizing a new purchase. And resolution add-on 4, authorizing the town to acquire properties on Freeman's Bridge Road and authorizing the supervisor to execute any of the documents regarding those acquisitions. So with that, I just want to start before we get to town council reports. And we have a very special night tonight. It's the final meeting for 2 of our board members. And that has brought out, I think, just about every one of our spouses here on our better half. And I want to welcome my wife, Jim's wife, Amanda's wife, Bob's wife, certainly our better half of each of us. I think you'd all agree on that. And welcome and thank you for being here tonight to support both Jim and Amanda. With that, I'll start with town council reports. I'll start on my left with Bob Kirker.
No report.
No report. Miss Amanda Barone.
I wish I had more to report on my last meeting, but unfortunately I have nothing, so no report.
I'm going to report that our comptroller has weighed in from Ireland, letting me know that he is here. And so if we have any questions, we can communicate with him.
International finance.
It is 12:03 in Ireland a.m. So welcome, Jason. I know you're watching us. We're glad you're with us. Councilman Martin.
Nothing other than to say Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope everyone has a safe and happy holiday season. That was it.
Councilman Ramichardt. No report. No report. Okay, so we're going to move. The first item we have to address is the public hearing, which we have regarding all those interested in the local law to prohibit parking on Pleasant View Avenue in the town of Glenville. This would change the code to allow no parking on certain portions of Pleasant View Avenue. That public hearing is now open. Anyone wish to be heard on that matter? Going once, going twice. Again, this is the public hearing regarding no parking on Pleasant View Avenue, or at least portions of. Seeing none, that public hearing is now closed. I'll move to privilege of the floor. We'll open privilege of the floor, which is now open. Anyone wish to be heard on that matter? Any item regarding town business? Anyone wish to address the board on any item regarding town business? Privilege of the floor is now open. Going once, going twice. Seeing none, privilege of the floor is now closed. I don't think we've ever come to supervisor's comments so quickly. I'm going to give Jim and Amanda a gift, and I don't have comments for the board tonight, but I do want to take a moment and offer my congratulations and a few words for both Jim and Amanda. I'm sure this to the board. It's a difficult thing. I've served, as you know, on this board for 17 years, and I've served with a lot of people and a lot of different personalities. And I'm going to say both for Jim and Amanda, there are no finer people that I've had an opportunity to serve with. And I really do appreciate all that you've done in your time on the board. Amanda, perhaps not as long as we would have liked, but in your short time on the board, you really made an impact. I think you've impressed your colleagues here. They'll all probably agree with this, that you were among the most engaged, best informed, most passionate that I've been able to work with in a long time. And it's a shame. I think you had so much to offer the town. I don't think your days are over, and I hope to see you back in some capacity. And if you ever want to serve in the town, at least until April, let me know and we'll get you involved in something. But we're going to miss you. You had a great impact, and we really appreciate all that you did for the board. So if you want to come down for a moment, I'd like to give you a certificate of appreciation. and then ask you to say a few words. And I'm going to cue my wife. I don't know if you have your iPhone handy, but maybe you can take a picture in a moment. But this certificate of appreciation is awarded to Amanda Barone on this day, the 20th of December, 2023. And the town board hereby expresses its appreciation and gratitude for your distinguished service to the town of Glenville and for all the work you've done on behalf of our residents. We ask you to accept our great appreciation signed by the supervisor, Chris Ketzley. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you.
I did not prepare much, but as many of you know, that doesn't stop me from speaking. So I just wanted to say how appreciative I am for the opportunity to have served. I am a little disappointed that I feel like I only just got started, and things happen in life, and we just roll with it. And maybe someday I'll circle back. But I just want to say how much I've enjoyed working with everyone here on the board, how much I've enjoyed working under Chris's leadership. I've learned so much, some of which is surprising, enlightening, fun, some not so fun, but that's how you learn, is it's taking new challenges that are unexpected, growing from them. And I can say that at the very least, I had just amazing life experience that I wouldn't trade for anything. So thank you so much.
Someday, well, we'll go for a drink after this, and we talk about all the heat I got for appointing a non-Republican. So that was that speaks volumes, though, about how we work together and how much I value you and all that you contributed. So again, thank you. And we come to Jim. Jim, who has been a great. How many years, Jim, altogether? I mean, you had one stint and a second stint, right? So is that
8 years on the board, and LDC and SBED,
and those things that you mentioned, LDC and SBED, all these acronyms that nobody really knows what they are, but let it be said that these are all things that you had a great hand in creating that have helped small business, along with Sid and in the early days, Alan and some others. The guidance you've given this board on economic development, all that's happened in this town in the past 16 years or so, you had such a great hand in advising us on so much, rewriting the comprehensive plan. I mean, the list goes on of all the things you've done, the support you've given the planning department and the planning board. I know they all respect you, Tony and Melissa and Kevin, all of the folks that worked up there had so much respect for you. You've brought all that expertise to this board, and it's going to be missed. There's no question about it. You brought a very unique knowledge base and expertise. After watching your golf game, we didn't ask you to come here for your golf game. I know that. So, although I enjoy that I got to get your wife to let you come out a few more times here in the season, but I do enjoy going out and golfing with you every once in a while as well. But I'm very pleased to announce that you've agreed to stay on. I hope you told Maureen this already, but you agreed to stay on in the planning board role. So he's going to be a member of the planning board. And that's going to be just great help to this town, taking all that expertise to that board. But we appreciate all that you've done for the town. And if you'd like to come down, Jim, I also have a certificate of appreciation for you. This is probably your second one from your first stint, so I hope you have them on your wall or you're collecting them. This one also reads, this certificate of appreciation is awarded to Jim Martin today, the 20th day of December 2023, and whereby the town board expresses its appreciation and gratitude for the distinguished service to the town of Glenville and for your work on behalf of all of our residents, signed by me. Again, Jim, we appreciate all you've done and we wish you all the best.
Thank you. I rarely get this prepared, but I figured it was appropriate given it was my last term in elected office for sure. Like Chris mentioned, I'm going to stay on and work on the planning board, but I thought it was appropriate to come well prepared tonight, so I did have some remarks I wanted to share. So as I participate in my final meeting as an elected servant of the residents, I feel compelled to share some parting thoughts. I'll keep this brief, as one's remarks in such a setting need not be long to be impactful. I cited as an example Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, revered as one of the nation's finest orations. It consisted of just 272 words. With this in mind, brevity will be central to the message that follows. First, within the context of a campaign, an election, and ultimately the performance of one's duties as an elected official, no truer words have been said than you do not elect one person when casting your vote, but two. And that second person is a partner or a spouse of the person on the ballot. Therefore, I ask you to join me in extending my appreciation and thanks to my wife, Maureen. She has provided unrelenting support and valuable counsel throughout the term of my service and has helped shape the resulting contributions to this town's government. I look forward to the next chapter in our life together, retirement. But Maureen, I thank you and I love you. Next, I want to extend not only my respect, but true and heartfelt admiration for the employees of this town government. The employees of this government do excellent work and are always mindful of the special aspect of working in service to the residents. In attending staff meetings, I repeatedly stated my recognition that the work they perform and the tasks they accomplish are what endures. Elected officials come and go, but individuals and their accomplishments have the lasting impact. From the clerk's office to the assessor, to the policemen and women, the court, the staff of the Planning and Economic Development Department, and the Highway Department. I thank each and every one of you for your service you provide. As a brief aside to Julie and Kathy, you are probably not aware, but Julie leaves wintergreen lifesavers out for us as board members at each of our meetings, and Kathy shares them from her desk. One benefit of my departure will be lessening of their expense for these lifesavers, as my per capita consumption far eclipses that of any other board member. To both Kathy and Julie, that simple gesture did not go unnoticed and has always been appreciated. Next, I also want to extend my appreciation to the other board members I have served with over the years. To Chris and the other 11 council members who have served with me through 2 terms. We've had our disagreements in some instances, but ultimately have always worked together for the betterment of the community. Our record of accomplishments proves that government need not be expensive or intrusive to be effective. My final remarks are directed to the residents. As one can see in my statements over the years, I have attempted to hold the limited role of government in the lives of people in sharp focus. The powers of the federal and state government are authorized by a constitution. The word constitution is defined as a body of fundamental principles or established precedents to which a state or organization is acknowledged to be governed. This definition serves as an explanation as to why our founding fathers selected a constitution as a basis for our federal government and state government and how they would function. Uniquely in America, our Constitution was adopted as a limiting document, written from the perspective that government is secondary and should be constrained, whereas liberty and the rights of the individual are paramount. Therefore, the prominence of liberty and individual freedom is to be unimpeded and preserved, and government at all levels, municipal, county, state, and federal, in service to our citizens, must be contained, and prideful residents holding their individual liberty in high regard must participate to keep that government in check. It is not only your right, but I assert it's your responsibility and duty to be vigilant over the policy and performance of your government at all levels. I urge that the trappings of abdicating this individual liberty to the control of a ubiquitous centralized government be resisted, because to do so breeds corruption and, more importantly, loss of life quality. Furthermore, apathy and non-participation in a democratic republic are the seeds of ignorance and will ultimately result in overreaching and intrusive government. Such apathy and disengagement will produce societal atrophy and decay, whereas active civic engagement by residents is the strength and sinew of our society that builds a fulfilling and genuine community of citizens. Therefore, I employ all residents to stay engaged, participate, and scrutinize the performance of your government at all levels. Government exists in service to us, not us in service to the government. In closing, I want to extend my gratitude and support and interaction through all the years. I extend my heartfelt appreciation for this opportunity to participate, and it has been my distinct honor to serve. Simply and finally, thank you. And by the way, I did not nearly as well as Lincoln, 837 words.
Thank you, Jim. We really appreciate that. And again, you're going to be missed, but we're glad that you're going to be back in the role on the planning board where you're going to be able to contribute to this town. Maybe not as obvious to a lot of people because a lot of residents don't know what the planning board does, but we're looking forward to our continued work with you.
Thank you.
And we have one more thing on the agenda I want to move right into since I'm down here. We have a very special resident with us here tonight who was the recipient of the 2023 Karen B. Johnson Lifetime Achievement Award. She's been a tremendous resident here in the town of Glenville on many different levels, a great advocate and participant at our senior center. And I'd like to invite Barb Wers up, please. Barb, we'd like to honor you with a proclamation. And then we'll ask you to say a few words. So hopefully you wrote a speech like that.
Nothing.
Okay, all right. So this proclamation, Barb, is in honor of your great achievement. And it reads simply, whereas each year the Schenectady County Department of Senior and Long-Term Care Services identifies an older American who has made significant contributions to their community and has recognized this year Barbara Wers as the recipient for the 2023 Karen B. Johnson Lifetime Achievement Award. And whereas the town of Glenville is fortunate to have a wealth of talented citizens who volunteer and deliver services to the community members throughout the town and beyond. And whereas Barbara is a lifelong resident of Schenectady County with over 40 years of volunteering to organizations and demonstrating outstanding volunteerism with the town of Glenville. And whereas Barbara has served on the town's Park Planning Commission for 37 years, wow, promoting park policies that benefit children, families, and community. She's consistently championed development improvements to Glenville's parks and has been integral in the master planning process necessary for coherent expansions of those parks. Her attention to detail, attendance, and advocacy has been exemplary. And whereas Barbara Wers has dedicated a 35-year career to educating elementary students in physical education in Scotia Glenville, she worked diligently to secure a $1 million grant for physical education initiatives, which led to her role as a grant manager for 3 years. Her dedication to finding funding granted her recognition, sorry about that, Barb, through Scotia Glenville's Distinguished Service Award and Prestige Capital District Amazing Persons Award from the New York State Association of Health, Physical Education, Recreation, and Dance in 2019. And whereas her dedication extended to volunteer roles with that organization, where she served as a jump rope coordinator for an impressive 22 years. And even today, she continues to support those conferences with those student leadership awards. And over the past decade, she has overseen student physical education teachers, providing valuable guidance to the Capital District schools. So now, therefore, in recognition of Barbara Wers' volunteerism and accomplishments, and with great appreciation for her efforts on work on behalf of our community, I, Christopher A. Ketzley, Town Supervisor, do here proclaim today, Wednesday, December 2023, as Barbara Wers Days throughout the town of Glenville. And on behalf of the town board, thank Barbara Wers for her contributions to the town of Glenville, congratulate her on a prestigious award, and wish to express sincere gratitude for all she's done to continue and continues to do for the Glenville community. Congratulations. You put me to work. I know. I think that's the most I've ever read for a proclamation, Barb, so congratulations.
First of all, I'd like to thank the board and Supervisor, for this honor and the people that came here tonight. But I have to thank Vicki Hillis. I think it was beginning of summer. She said, "Hey, Barb, you got a little bit of time. You can come down." I said, "Well, yeah, sure." I figured she had some project up her sleeve. She wanted to, we'd talk about it a little bit. And one thing led to another. She said, "Well, I'd like to nominate you for this award." And I go, "Vicki, there's got to be somebody else." I said, "Are you sure?" So one thing led to another, and so on. A couple other celebrations, and I want to thank Vicki. As Chris had said, being involved with physical education for so many years, it was only natural to become part of the parks. When the parks started out, I didn't have grandchildren. My children were still playing sports. But to me, if I could go to a park, I could grab something to eat, I could watch my kids play, that was the best. So to see all the programs that I've been part of on other people's suggestions and a few of my own has made it dear to my heart, because being in physical education, my goal was to have every kid to be physically active. So the parks help the rest of the community. So thank you very much again.
Okay, so we're going to get back to the agenda, and we are on item number 9. It's a resolution adopting the local law that we just had the public hearing on regarding no parking on portions of Pleasant View Avenue. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Moved in second. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Supervisor, this is a resolution to prohibit parking on a portion of Pleasant View Avenue, which was it came to be from a traffic safety committee meeting, and it just underscores the work that we continue to do in that committee to keep our roads safe for our residents. So I'm very happy to see this move forward.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Ramichardt?
Yes.
Councilman Kirkham?
Yes.
Councilman Burrell?
Yes.
Supervisor Tusser?
Yes, resolution passes. Next resolution is Resolution 10. It's a resolution approving amendments to the 2023 and 2024 budgets. As you can see, it's very lengthy. There's 10 pages of amendments that are occurring. I'm going to ask a motion, and then I'll start with the discussion, and we can call on Jason if we need to, but motion for that resolution.
I'll move it.
There's a second.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Just for discussion, you can see there are many, many lines. Most of this, 90% of it is cleaning up lines that either went over or under throughout the 2023 year. And it's basically, as you can see, as you look through it, they're smaller items where maybe we need, full-time wages went over by $6,000 for overtime from a snowstorm. You can go through all those and see those. 2024 budget amendments is really moving most of it is moving the capital reserves that we approved in the 2024 budget, and moving a lot of those bigger items from capital reserves into the project line so that it's ready to be expended for 2024. And if you remember in the budget, there's a whole list of, I don't have in front of me, but a whole list of projects that we have for that. Many of them are in the parks and some are at the senior center. But if you have any questions, we can call on Jason and have a discussion. But as you can see, that's really the lion's share of the amendments.
I don't have a question, but more of a comment. This is the advantage of having capital reserve accounts.
Yes.
We have expenses, we've been saving for it, and now that we're in a need to expend those funds, these funds are available from a reserve. And for the residents' benefit, we're not borrowing or anything of that nature. We're paying from within, and that's always a very sound approach. And these are the subtleties of that outcome. And it's just something I've always endorsed, and I'm happy to see it.
And I want to say that you and Jason both are a very important part of creating those capital reserves. All of you on the board that bought into and defended the policy of defending our fund balance, cutting our debt, creating these reserves. This is the fruition of that. But I think you, Jim, were a big proponent of that early on, and we appreciate that. Jason does say that, wanted to remind me to just mention there's no use of fund balance in any of these other than one in the water department for a employee. But other than that, there's been no use of fund balance, so to cover these expenses, it's always within the operational budget. Any other questions or comments?
Yes, I just wanted to say that I don't think many people realize how much vigorous work goes into this and how meticulous it is to make sure that we end up with a budget that is both fiscally responsible, but also keeps our service level quality very high for our residents. I'm proud of this budget, and another thing that I'm proud of is, as Supervisor said and Jim said, that we don't have to dip into raising taxes to tackle these major projects. So we're actually doing it in a very responsible way where the taxpayer impact is going to be minimized, but the reward of having these projects move forward is going to be felt by the community.
Thank you. And I want to take a moment, also Jason's last meeting out there in Ireland, Jason, I'm sure probably drinking a Guinness right now, maybe a couple of Guinnesses in, but it's midnight there, as I said, 12:30 a.m. So I want to thank you for all that you've done for this town. Your last meeting here that you were physically present, we talked a lot about it, but he just texted me, it's his bedtime. We'll hurry up, Jason. We'll get there. But all that you've done and put us in this position, this is truly a team effort to get us here, and we appreciate your role in that. It was a very large role, and you and I have had a lot of conversations, some arguments, and but we got to where we are because of your expertise and guidance, and we thank you. We miss you already, but we'll have a new comptroller in that position, and we'll talk about that in the January 3rd meeting. Anything else? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Ramichardt?
Yes.
Councilman Kirkland?
Yes.
Councilwoman Jerome?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next, resolution 11, approving the minutes of the regular town board meeting held on December 6, 2023. Do I have a motion?
I'll move
Do I
it.
have a second?
I'll second.
Moved in second. Any discussion?
Mr. Supervisor, as stated, this is just approving the minutes from the regular board meeting, December 6th.
Excellent. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Ramichardt?
Yes.
Councilman Kirkland?
Yes.
Councilman Jerome?
Yes.
Great. Wasn't somebody else?
There's a correction for Sid, I think.
Sid, were you absent?
I think we were at the last meeting.
Yeah, I can correct it. Yeah. Go back to it.
Yeah.
Go back to it.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, just start over.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Ramichardt?
Abstain.
Councilman Kirkland?
Yes.
Councilwoman Jerome?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. I thought that resolution was in trouble for me. Next, resolution 12, approving the monthly reports for November 2023. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Moved in second. Any discussion?
And again, as stated, this is just approving the monthly reports for 2023.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Ramichardt?
That's for the month, so I'm yes.
Councilman Kirkland?
Yes.
Councilwoman Jerome?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next resolution is an add-on 1, authorizing a contract with Kristen Bodie for consulting services. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Moved in second. And just to start the conversation, as you all know, Kristen has been an employee here and is taking another position. And we've filled that position here at the town court clerk position with Judge Lockwood. The judge and I have consulted that we've hired a new, as you recall, last meeting, hired a new court clerk. And we've asked Ms. Bodie to stay on a short-term contract lasting through March 1st, 2024 to help train the new court clerk. There's a billable rate there of $25 per hour, maximum 80 hours for the life of the contract, with no provisions for any expenses such as mileage or other expenses. So Ms. Bodie is agreeable to this. She's been a valuable employee here. She's a great resource for us, and I think she's going to help us onboard a new court clerk. Any questions or comments on that?
I just agree. It's she's an incredible asset, and I'm happy to see her help with that transition. It's going to be much smoother with her involved.
I would also just add that, I've participated in a court one evening, and I would say that our clerks are a valuable asset to the town here, providing essential services to our residents. So, yeah, I'm very pleased to support this.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the roll.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Ramichardt?
Yes.
Councilman Kirkland?
Yes.
Councilwoman Barone?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next resolution, add-on 2, is ending litigation between MHG 164 Second Dogger LLC and the town of Glenville. Do I have a motion?
I'll move
Do
it.
I have a second? Second. Moved and seconded. Just to start the conversation, as you know, we've been in the tax cert with MHG, which is the hotel on Second Dogger Road in the village. We've come to an agreement. It has been endorsed by our council, our tax cert council, and our assessor, and it would lower the original assessment of $5.2 million to $4.5 million for the 2024 tax year, with no rebates given by the town or any other government authority. So really, we feel like this is the best outcome for us, and it just takes the tax cert out of play for 2024. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, please vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Ramichardt?
Yes.
Councilman Kirkland?
Yes.
Councilwoman Barone?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Next, resolution 3, a little bit complex resolution, but we're rescinding the resolution 192 of 2022 and 193 of 2022, which authorized a certain purchase for the highway department. And we are instead authorizing the highway department to purchase a dump spreader snow removal vehicle in place of the original authorization given in those two resolutions. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Moved in second. I'll leave it to Councilman Ramichardt to give you the details on this one, if you need the details.
Now, I think you just stated, Mr. Supervisor, this resolution is replacing 2 resolutions back from 2022, which is actually providing us to buy that 6-wheel dump truck / plow for a lower price and being able to get it to us.
Any other questions or comments?
Jason made sure that the cancellation of the existing contracts came without penalty.
Yes, that is true. We did do our homework on that. Thank you, Jason. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, please vote.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Ramichardt?
Yes.
Councilman Kirkland?
Yes.
Councilwoman Barone?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Last, add-on resolution 4, authorizing the town to acquire properties on Freeman's Ridge Road and authorizing the supervisor to execute any and all documents regarding those acquisitions. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Just to start the conversation, as you all know, we're putting the pedestrian path on Freeman's Bridge Road. This is part of that project where we would have to acquire certain parts of parcels in order to put it into a public right-of-way. And as you can see, there's 4. One would cost $2,600, one $10,100, one $4,500, and one $12,600. These are all purchases that are necessary to put the pedestrian path in, but also part of the project, and so part of our either capital reserves or the grant reimbursement. But this is all part of the project and necessary to go forward to acquire these easements for the sidewalk. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, please vote roll.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
Councilman Ramichardt?
Yes.
Councilman Kirkland?
Yes.
Councilwoman Barone?
Yes.
Supervisor Pettsley?
Yes, resolution passes. Our last item is new business, and I will start on my left, Councilman Kirkland.
Mr. Supervisor, I would just like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas as well, safe and happy with their families. And also to Jim, I would just like to add, I've been on 2 sides of this. I've seen you serve as a board member, as an employee, myself as an employee, and you as a board member. And I can certainly say that I appreciate the wisdom and knowledge that you've brought to this board. The professionalism that you've always, brought to the board as well, and your contribution to this community is, it will be unmatched. So I appreciate your passion, and I appreciate the speech as well. I know your passion for limited government, so I do appreciate that, and I agree with that as well. So thank you very much for what you've done. And for Amanda, it's been a journey, right? And in journeys, I like to say, we never know where the journey takes us. I really never thought the journey in life would bring me here, but I'm truly thankful for that because I think, the relationship that we have had for a short period of time, again, your passion and desire is unmatched. So you've taught me something in 6 months, and hopefully I can continue that. But I do know that the journey is going to take you somewhere, and I hope you're blessed in that as you continue to move forward in life. Yeah. So thank you.
I agree, Bob. I never thought our journey would take you here on this board either.
So thanks, Chris. That's great.
But I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
That's a left-handed compliment.
There's
if I
so
ever-
many changes going on. I sometimes feel like Ellis and wondering, I fell through the rabbit hole. I woke up in Wonderland and then, oh, what the heck's going on anymore?
As long as it's not Groundhog Day.
That's right.
We're
That's
good.
right. Councilwoman Barone.
Yes, just, Merry Christmas, as Bob said. Happy New Year, everybody. Just a few more words for specifically for Jim, congratulations and moving on to this next chapter. I think, I worked with Jim in the capacity of being on the Glenville Local Development Corporation. That was where we first started to get to know each other.
Mm-hmm.
And when I said I was going to run for Scotia trustee a couple years ago now, doesn't seem like it was that long ago, I remember we went to coffee at Panera and you kind of sat me down. You were like, are you nuts? So just getting into the political field at all, it can be a little hair raising sometimes. So I really appreciate your guidance, your support, and just congratulations. Also, I just wanted to just reiterate my thanks to Supervisor Ketzley, to my colleagues on the board here, all of the town employees who keep everything moving. Your work is severely underappreciated, but appreciated by us. And my wife, Stacy, who has been the support behind all this crazy roller coaster ride. And all the friends who I've made along the way, who I am just grateful to get to know and have in my life. This is invisible but necessary work. It's so important. And it was really wonderful to be here.
Thank you. Councilman Martin.
Again, Merry Christmas and again, a heartfelt thanks to everybody, and especially the employees who just do wonderful work for the community. And Amanda, this is not going to be the end for you. You're too high energy, too bright, too intelligent. And I truly hope there's more coming from you. I'm going to be interested to see, how you further, proceed and what the future brings for you. But I think it's going to be very bright. And Bob, I wish you the best on the board. You've been a wonderful addition, and I'm glad to see now you've got an elected term ahead of you now, and you're just a rock solid member of this community, and as a former employee, you bring a lot of knowledge from that standpoint. Former union rep, and I'll be happy to see what you do as well. I think you got some great things ahead of you, and Sid, it's always been a pleasure. All right, and always been a pleasure to sit up here next to you. You've been a lot of years on the board as well, and you've brought a lot. And I wish you the best as deputy supervisor in the coming year. I think it's going to be challenging, but I think we're in very good hands. So I wish you the best as well. And then finally, Chris, I had some parting words the last time I left, and it wasn't on my terms. This time it is. And you are a tremendous chief elected official. I work with a lot of them in the work I do in my day job. Talk about passion. This community is so lucky to have somebody as dedicated as you. It's always Glenville first, and you're just a great supervisor, and you've done fine work for this community. And I wish you well in your new endeavor as well. It'll be interesting to see how the Association of Towns blossoms under your leadership, because I'm sure it will. You'll put your shoulder to that wheel as well, and I'm sure it'll get better as a result. But thank you for all your support over the years and guidance. And Julie, thank you. It's been a pleasure to sit next to you as well. And, I always I always say clerks are the bedrock of the government. People don't realize everything that your office does, and you do it so well. So that's all I'm going to say, but thank you, everybody. It's been a real pleasure and an honor to serve in this capacity. And I hold the role of an elected official in very high regard, and I thank you all. So
Thank you.
that's it.
Thank you. Councilman Ramatar.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy New Year. Jim and Amanda, I'll pass the clock again. That's all I got.
Okay.
Thank you, Councilman Ramatar. I only have 3 quick things. Number 1, Jim, you look great in a tie. Love it. Number 2, Merry Christmas to everybody. Hope you have a safe and happy holiday and a happy new year. And the third thing is we will be back here, the town board, on January 3rd for our organizational meeting. Where we'll have liaison roles, deputy supervisor appointment, and committee, and all the resolutions to run the town for the year. So January 3rd will be a big day. I believe Councilman Kirkham is agreed to be sworn in here in this room at 6:30. So if you can come to that, that'd be great, and we'll do the swearing in and get you all set for your new term. And that's all I have. So with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you.
Now, I have to say, Jim,